Man, after the last few weeks of doing some news segments, this is actually a refreshing change of pace. There wasn't a whole lot of news breaking out, but the news that did come, oh man, it was really pretty big news. So I know it's easy for me to say. So I'm going to really break apart these few news items that we had over the past week and some of the implications that's involved in one of the bigger news items through KDP. So you're going to want to make sure that you stay tuned to today's podcast and the self-publishing news for June the 5th of 2023. And before we do jump into things, of course, I want to give a big, quick reminder here that if you would like to get a chance to win a Get Covers ebook and print-ready cover design, you have officially, as of me recording this, 16 hours, 48 minutes to enter for a chance to win those. That's over at dalelinks.com/Get Covers giveaway. And if you don't want to leave that chance and you want to get yourself an inexpensive but high quality cover design, go on over to dalelinks.com/Get Covers. And they've got covers anywhere from $10 upwards of $35. I think that's pretty freaking inexpensive, very affordable. I don't want to use the C word because Lord knows nobody wants to be called cheap. But in any event, go on over to dalelinks.com/Get Covers giveaway. You can enter daily. And if you missed the deadline for this one, good news is that we've got 2 more giveaways to go. The final one is going to be for a movie poster worth $35. So if you're a fiction author, this is going to be the time for you to go ahead and get that scenario, that dream scenario of having a movie made of your manuscript. So you can always just be able to have that on your vision board, if you will, that movie poster. So go on over, get yourself entered today. The big news that came about over the past week was Amazon KDP making some waves with their new categories feature. Now, let me go ahead and just summarize what was going on. What happened was, prior to having the categories feature that we have now, we had to select 2 BISAC categories. And then based on those 2 categories we selected and the keywords that we used inside our backend, Amazon would throw our book over into whatever category was on their website. Now, sometimes it was good and other times it was not so good. Now they have given us the wheel. They said, drive. You do the driving. We'll let you go ahead and just handle things. And now what you can do is you can select upwards of 3 categories for each publication type. This is the part that when I was explaining this over on my main channel, that I think a lot of people misunderstood. All right. You can get upwards of 3 categories per ebook, 3 categories per print book. And that would be for paperback and hardcover, meaning that you can have 3 separate categories for each of those types. Now for print books, I would probably just keep my paperback and hardcover exactly the same. So that's where a lot of confusion happened. Now, the next part of confusion that a lot of people really got hung up on was they said, okay, how do I select region-specific categories? So let's say my primary marketplace is Amazon.com. I set those 3 categories, but what happens to the other regions? Well, we can't request categories anymore. We can only have upwards of 3 categories. In fact, they said having more than 3 categories is actually detrimental to relevance and discoverability to your book. So if you have 10 categories on a given book, go over, change the categories now, because as soon as you go into that book, you correct those categories, you hit the publish, they approve those things, it's going to remove those 10 categories, and you're going to instantly increase relevance as well as discoverability. Now, I can go in through the algorithmic relevance and all that type of stuff, but I'm going to save you all that. All that to say this, that region-specific categories you can't select right now. Now, this was something that I ran past my contacts over at KDP, and I said, hey, it would be really nice if you guys had some region-specific settings, but I understand that right now they're just rolling out this brand new feature, so I'm not going to sit here and beat them up to get that region-specific control. But all that to say this, that you can't be able to put in any more requests for categories. They just won't honor them. And I think this is a good step in the right direction because it's giving authors a lot more control. And having that control makes a huge difference. And also, there was just a lot of confusion. I got a lot of people that were like, but I chose my 2 categories and it's showing something completely different. Yes, now there's no more confusion. You don't need to worry about that anymore. All right, we're still on the topic of Amazon here. Amazon Ads is actually having a summit. It's going to be starting on June 6th. Actually, it's going to be tomorrow after the recording of this particular podcast here. From June 6th to the 7th, it's 100% free. It's a virtual event to build advertising skills that will help you grow your business and reach new customers during busy periods. The former guest here of the channel, Brian Cohen, is actually one of the speakers that's going to be on the event. He actually has a specific talk covering Amazon ads for authors, but I would highly recommend that you get the opportunity. There is a link inside the show notes that you can go ahead and click and get on over there and get yourself registered ASAP, like right away, so that way you don't miss out on it. I'm going to be popping into a lot of these, but I do know that I have some appointments, so I'm going to miss a couple here and there. But highly recommend, if you want to learn more about Amazon ads, great, you can go and study things like YouTube and stuff like that, but go right to the source. I like going over to Amazon Ads to tell me how to do Amazon advertising, because it's not going to be put together through speculation and theoretical type stuff that only works for one specific author and not you. I like being able to get that source right from the source. So let's go on over to the next item here. This actually comes up from the fine folks over at Scribando. This is actually a great resource for finding out information about the world of self-publishing, from book marketing to what's going on in the publishing world and beyond. Scribando, that's spelled SCRIBANDO.com. And they actually hooked me up with a little bit of a free service, so that way I can share some of the golden nuggets that I share with you guys from time to time here. And this one actually comes from Scribando, had shared it from me from TickTock. TickTock is actually introducing the TickTock Book Awards UK and Ireland 2023. And that's really freaking cool. So if you haven't been following it all, Book Talk has been a huge service to trad pub authors as well as indie authors, a way to get exposure. In fact, there are a lot of industry insiders that are saying that reading has increased for youths out there because of Book Talk. So I think TickTock was like, there must be something to this. In fact, here's one of the stats that they say here on their piece. In the past year, the hashtag BookTalk hashtag has grown more than 160% to over 138 billion views and shows no sign of stopping. This is so big that even Barnes & Noble brick and mortar stores are putting sections together for Book Talk. So now they're going to be doing book awards. By the way, don't say book awards too many times, because Hannah Jacobson from Book Award Pro might actually materialize and fill you with bubbly enthusiasm. It's not a terrible thing. So you probably could say book awards a few times. She's really awesome. And maybe she'll even, take you out to lunch or something. Or maybe that's just me. She'll take out to lunch. I don't know. Either way. But this is really kind of cool. I really like seeing the fact that TickTock is stepping up in a different capacity. But UK and Ireland, kudos. This is fantastic. I'd love to see something in the US, maybe, possibly. Speaking of TickTock, Jane Friedman. Oh man, she is one of the greatest resources in self-publishing and traditional publishing as well. But this piece is actually done by Julie Gray on Jane Friedman's site. It's harnessing the power of TickTock from self-published to traditionally published author. This is really, really interesting. That what happened is this author was a self-published author starting out. And they were sharing a story about a gentleman that had survived the Holocaust and going to share their story. And the biggest problem is, as you know, being a self-published author, getting your word out there, you got to be scrappy, you got to be resourceful, you got to be resilient. And Julie decided to tap into the power of TickTock. And next thing you know, what they were doing is they were querying agents, and they were getting no's, lots of no's. Then they go and they build this big platform on TickTok, getting upwards of 500,000 followers over there, not subscribers, 500,000 followers on TickTock. Then they went and queried agents, and then boom, landed themselves a traditional publishing deal. I know what I'm talking about half the time, probably. But this is really kind of cool. It's a very inspirational story, and it just kind of goes to show that you're just one piece of content away from getting yourself the exposure that you wanted to always go for. So try to leverage TickTock. It is definitely going to be an avenue worth considering. And since it's short form content, it shouldn't take you too much time. Heck, I've done, it's a video dumping ground for me. I've thrown in some of my own videos over there. And for whatever reason, I have like 1,000 to 2,000 followers over there. I don't know why, but you can see that someone is actually making good use of this area. So kudos to them. And this next piece comes over from the fine folks over at Lulu. They're actually going to be running a course or a webinar about courses, monetizing your expertise with courses. Online courses are quickly becoming one of the most popular ways to monetize your content, build credibility, and grow your audience. In this webinar, we're joined by Teachable's creator program specialist, Monique Daniels, to learn how creators are leveraging knowledge products to grow and scale their businesses. So if you're a nonfiction author, highly recommend you get yourself tuned into something like this. Heck, if you're a fiction author, you may just, if you've got a little free time, pop over there. You never know. They might give you some information that might be super helpful. And speaking of information that's super helpful, let me give you one last plug here to the Get Covers ebook and print ready cover design giveaway. Go and enter over at dalelinks.com/getcovers giveaway. And if you missed the deadline, that's okay. Enter the very next giveaway. It's not going to be a bad thing because it's only getting better from here on out. That is the self-publishing news. What were some of the items that you found most insightful? Was there anything that I might have missed over the past week? Let me know over on Discord. You can join me in the growing community of over 700 authors on the Discord platform. Visit me at dalelinks.com/Discord. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I'll catch you soon. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Special shout out to my channel members for both the podcast channel and the main channel. Without your support, some projects we do at Self-Publishing with Dale would be much harder to fund. If you want to contribute to the cause, visit dalelinks.com/memberships for details and get your on-screen shout out at the end of each broadcast. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I'll see you soon.